I thought I'd do a piece, it's May 2016, I thought I'd do a piece on pension schemes, corporate pension schemes, company pension schemes. There's surprisingly little that you need to know about pension schemes. The main thing you need to know, for me, is that the pension schemes can be dipped into by the company that runs them. Now, pension schemes have got trustees, but trustees are really, they're just to look after the pension scheme insofar as the law has to be obeyed, and they're there for the benefit of the pension scheme. But here's what people don't tell you. Company pension schemes, the legal requirement is not that all the money that gets put in stays in. That is not a legal requirement of a company pension scheme. You might think that all those contributions that everyone pays goes into the pension lump, a funded thing, a whole fund of money, and then it stays there and it just builds up to wherever it builds up to. No. That pension scheme, that money is there to be robbed by the company concerned. Because as long as the company concerned can get some accountant, or PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC, whoever it is, just a bunch, management consultants, accountants, whatever, as long as they can get somebody to sign off on it and say that it will meet its commitments and it's being properly run, a company pension scheme is absolutely there to be robbed and raided. From just up the road, there's a place called Wetherby. There's a kitchen company up there called Moores. From Moores and Wetherby to BHS, to the steelworks down in near Cardiff, Tata Steelworks, all of it, those pensions are a big deal concerning those companies. The people buying the steel company or interested in it have said that they want to buy a steel company and will run a pension scheme for it. They don't want to buy a pension scheme that they're running the steel company for. There's 130,000 people or something in that pension scheme, and the pension scheme's massive, and they reckon it's well, I don't know if it's short by anything, but it's got a huge commitment that's pent up, and in future it'll have to pay out. That works as long as the funds are all there and so on. Basically, when times are good for the pension scheme, the company's entitled to raid it, and the law just says exactly what I have said. The pension scheme has to meet its commitments, and as long as you can be satisfied that the pension scheme has met its commitments, then you as the trustee and you as company directors involved with it have done your jobs. So they can basically raid the pension scheme till kingdom come, as long as somebody somewhere, some accountant, will sign off on it and say it's adequately able to cover its commitments. So BHS, British Home Stores, Sir Philip Green, who's wandered off the reservation, and about a year ago he sold it on to some bunch that didn't know what they were doing with business. He is, as you know, it turns out the pension scheme shortfall is 500 and something million pounds. Philip Green, didn't he end up getting paid out between him and his wife or something? Didn't he end up getting paid out about 487 million pounds? I'm not drawing a straight line between those two things, but I think you might be tempted to. And that's the problem. Here's your pension scheme, raid, put into other account, and then send it off by some method, which accountants always have, to some company director's account or all the company directors' accounts, pay them all off, and I don't know what's in it for the trustees, but I think you'll find if they keep them sweet, they'll keep them sweet. It'll be like that. That's pretty much all you need to know. And if in your contract it says stuff like, should you leave the company within 2 years, your pension contributions are forfeit, which is what happened to me in the mid-80s. It wasn't a whole lot of money, but it was some pension money. That's it. People say you signed a contract, you forfeit the contributions if you leave within 2 years. This is in the 80s. People didn't exactly hang around in jobs, and companies didn't exactly invite them to. And nothing's really changed since that time. Just the bad news of short-term jobs have been spread around more people. So that's the only important thing you need to know about pension schemes. Why is there so much spoken about them in big companies? The answer is because the company might be worth very little compared to the pension scheme. Remember, Sir Philip Green sold BHS for £1, yet he has got 487 million out of it, and the pension scheme is short by 500 and something million. It looks awfully like he got his money at the expense of the pension scheme. I'm sure that there'll be a roundabout circuit that the money's gone round, but in the end, this thing's short of money, and he took a load. You know, as the Americans say, do the math. Pension funds are there to be raided. Anything extra is considered surplus, and it's perfectly alright in law, not morally, that your contributions don't all end up there, that they end up there but then you get pulled out. Basically the company takes a skim every now and again, and that's how come pension schemes end up in the bad times being short of money, because in the good times the companies take a skim. Everybody knows bad times follow good, so why is it allowed? Answer: because the CBI and so on, directors that run companies, have a hell of a lot more lobbying power in government than the average person who works in these companies. It's dirty and it's low and it's nasty, and that's how they roll when it comes to pension schemes. Thanks for watching and listening.